minutes or so that the suspect was found in a garden in Spandau, in a sort of community garden, and was shot dead by tactical police at the scene.
We also want to just return to that breaking news story that we heard there in the news bulletin from Daryl Jackson. The suspect in the attack on a Pride event in Berlin last night has been shot and killed by police, according to reports in the German media. Well, we've invited back onto the show James Jackson, a journalist based in Berlin, who we spoke to at the beginning of the show. James, thank you so much for coming back to us. What have you found out? What more can you tell us?
So news has just come in the last 20 minutes or so that the suspect was found in a garden in Spandau, in a sort of community garden, and was shot dead by tactical police at the scene.
And do we have any information if he was by himself? Was he with anybody else?
There haven't been any reports of other people. It looks at the moment like this was a single person. I think Berliners will, unless there's anything else comes out, Berliners will be very relieved to hear this news.
And as we were discussing earlier, there was a lot of consternation that this person had not been caught, that this manhunt was ongoing. Do we have any information from the police about how he was located? Was it a tip-off from a member of the public? Have we got any other information?
Well, continuing what I said about poor comms from the police at the top of your show, there hasn't been any news from the police. I heard about this from the media, the police, and one of my colleagues just tried to call the police. No one picked up. So they did catch him. He has been shot, not apprehended, fatally shot. But yeah, this has been, I think, obviously not an easy job for anyone, for emergency services, but also perhaps not the Berlin police's finest hour.
And have we had any confirmation from the police? Have we had any word from any of the senior political figures about this?
So about the shooting, it really happened very recently. About 15 minutes ago was the first report, I would say. So we haven't had any comment from senior politicians on the shooting yet, but as you would have heard, the Chancellor Friedrich Merz gave an address calling it an attack on our open society. Senior politicians were gathered at a church for a memorial service. There was also a memorial service more spontaneously organised by Pride celebrators at the Brandenburg Gate, as well as other places around Berlin. So we will be hearing more. I hope to hear more about, potential failings of security in this instance. But right now, Berliners are just going to be taking a big, deep breath outwards.
OK, well, look, James, we really appreciate you coming back to update us. That's James Jackson, who is a journalist based in Berlin. So we will, of course, bring you more updates, and Daryl Morris will have more updates on that later on his show as they come through.